Good morning. It's just so cold to get up early in the mornings. I have a 13-mile day today, and I would go further, but there's rain coming in around 3 o'clock. So once I get to this 13-mile shelter, Cosby something shelter, I'm stopping because I don't want to get wet. I hate hiking in the rain. It's absolutely miserable. The last time I did it, I didn't record anything, which is probably going to be tomorrow, but I get picked up tomorrow, so there's hope once again. And it's supposed to thunderstorm on Sunday, so I'm just going to take a 0 on Sunday for religious purposes and for weather purposes. But then it's supposed to storm again. I can't take that many zeros. I am kind of on a time crunch, so I don't know. Goodness. So anyway, that's my plan for today. And I found this one guy I was hiking with last week or the week before. I haven't seen him in a while. And I'm not for one who give yourself your trail name, but he is definitely an exception. His trail name's PT Cruiser because he's a physical therapist and he's just cruising along the trail. So so yeah, his name's PT Cruiser, and he gave himself that, but that's super clever, and I'm all for that. So if you can give yourself your own trail name that's clever and witty and funny, then I'm for it, like that one. But anyway, started uphill. I'm out of breath. Anyways, bye for now. Okay, so while I'm on relatively flat ground right now, I like to make a shout out to this one woman. I don't know her first name, but her trail name, I suppose, is Star. And she's a shuttle driver in the kind of smoky, the national park here. Smoky Mountain National Park. Anyways, her story kind of reminds me of myself, and just kind of like the kind of, gosh, how do I explain this? I didn't think this through. But she worked in corporate America for some time, and she quit her job, and she said she was making, she was making over, 6 figures, like $200,000 a year, and she quit her job, and she hiked the Appalachian Trail, and took her 7 months to do, and now she's a shuttle driver. And she goes, I don't make nearly as much as I did when I worked in corporate America. And I asked her, I said, but you seem happy. And she bursted out in happiness, and she goes, I am so much happier. And for all the women out there, like, I know I was pressured into going to college at the age of, 7 in first grade. I was encouraged to go to college and, and make a career out of myself. And you know what I did? I fell for it. I did the typical, after high school, I went to college. Well, college brings a lot of debt for a majority of people. If you're lucky with scholarships, then, go do it. But I didn't have many scholarships. I had a few, but I didn't have nearly as much to cover everything. And then after college, I was $20,000 in debt, which again isn't a lot compared to some people, but I was still in debt. I didn't like that feeling. And I tried to get jobs. I really did. I applied for 10 jobs in my field, entry-level positions. 10 jobs. And I got denied all 10 positions. And I was scared. And I thought about joining the Coast Guard when I was in high school. But I knew the Coast Guard, after college would give me a paycheck, a roof over my head, and food in my belly. So I joined the Coast Guard. Thankfully, I saved a lot of money just being frugal as frugal can be, actually. And I paid off my student loans in about a little less than a year and a half. And I just did it. And when I was in the Coast Guard, I was once again pressured. Since I had a degree, I was really pressured into becoming an officer. And I told them, I'm from Missouri. I'm landlocked. I know nothing about the Coast Guard. I know nothing about maritime life. I know about the woods and maybe a few creeks and stuff like that. But I didn't know anything about maritime culture at all. So I wasn't comfortable with becoming an officer. So I was like, well, after my 4 years, let me see how I like the Coast Guard. And then if I like enlistment, I'll stay enlisted. If I want to go officer, I'll go officer. If I want to get out, I'll get out. Guess what? I didn't like it. Now what I did was admirable. I was a dispatcher and answered Mayday calls. But I didn't like the corporate setting. And yet the military is kind of like a corporate setting-ish. And so I just didn't like it at all. And I was like, what am I doing? But since I had all my debt paid off, I didn't know anything. And so, and luckily, my now husband, I was really scared to tell him that, I didn't want to be in the Coast Guard anymore. And so I called him and I was like, if I don't re-enlist, would you be mad at me? He responded, why would I be mad? I go, well, because I won't make any income or anything. And then, we're pretty traditional. And he goes, no, that's my job. And I go, really? If I want to be a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home mom, you would totally, be okay with that? He goes, yeah, that's awesome, actually. So I was so relieved at that point, because I'm kind of getting emotional, because I've been pressured all my life to do things that are very much against God's calling for women. And I didn't really realize that until I got older, and I just I want to let people know that, like, traditional roles is holy and good, and you know, I think we need kind of a culture change here in America because, like, you know, divorce rates are high and single parents are on the rise, and I don't like to see, you know, children, you know, suffering through, you know, broken families, and I've seen a lot of my friends suffer through broken families too, and I just want to let people know that, like, out of high school, if there's one girl watching this, is out of high school, you don't have to go to college. You really don't. And don't let people pressure you into doing things like that. And I guess I'm just, like, really happy right now because, like, doing this trail, like, was all on my own. And even if I don't make it, at least I tried, and I got to experience, you know, God's wonderful beauty here, especially in the Smoky Mountains. But anyway, this has gone way too long, and I just wanted to get my my little story out there, and just continue hiking, because it's when you're by yourself out here, all of these thoughts come, and you don't have anyone to share it with. I'm, like, talking to my phone right now and gonna look back at this and maybe laugh, but anyways, bye for now. Alright, so I'm at Cosby Shelter. I'm about to go to bed because I'm really tired. It's 7:10 and hiker midnight's 9. So, but we have a nice fire going. It's like the same crowd as last night. So, knowing everybody, I hardly saw anybody on trail today. No one passed me. I passed no one. There was only one group of REI trail adventures or something like that, that I bypassed before I had lunch. But I also saw some bear droppings. So once I saw the first bear dropping, I turned on my music just to let them know that I was around. But anyways, it's good night, and getting picked up tomorrow. Yay! And it's only about 9 or 10 miles, but good night.